compassionate logic.
New ideas and efficient tools for a happier, more connected life.
When it comes to money, I never thought of a budget as being something to grow my money. I always looked at a budget as being something restrictive, like somehow it was going to hold me back, and that I would be stuck at 40 grand a year for 40 years to finally retire and do the things I wanted to do, and that just sounded horrible. And so my theory was just go make more money all the time. Don't worry about the expenses. And I found out that somehow the expenses kept catching up with a plan like that. But looking at a budget, the best times in my life when it comes to monetary gain has been when I am on a budget and I am paying attention to income and expenses. And what I've come to learn from those experiences, watching your money can actually help create more money, can help create more opportunities because you're paying attention to where you are and you're starting to look at where you want to go. And so it helps having a budget.
Instead of planning from a place of lack of how am I going to expend my limited resources, you plan for growth and how am I going to expand my income.
Absolutely. Much more successful that way.
And much more pleasant budgeting too.
Yeah, it feels better. When we talk about the feeling of money, for me it goes quickly to the feeling of the stuff. I grew up believing that when I got the right car, the right marriage, the right kids, the right whatever job, that I would have this great feeling. I'd be there. I'd be set. I'd be someone. And what I've found is it doesn't work that way. There's a feeling that I'm going for in my lifetime that just acquiring the physical assets does not give me. So how do we spend more time focusing on gaining that feeling? That's what we're here to talk about. Because the mind never gets enough. The mind never gets enough stuff. Have you ever noticed that? You get a goal, you set it, you accomplish that goal, then there's the next goal. The feeling that you thought you were going to get when you got that goal goes away quickly, if you get it at all. The mind just is never satiated. So how do we get to the feeling that we're going for that the mind was believing it was going to have when we had the stuff? And what we're working on is getting that feeling, developing it, being able to inhabit it, practice getting there when we know we're out of it. That's what we're here for.
Guess maybe you don't need to have enough if you are enough. We get stuck in this sufficiency error, this belief that if I go from having nothing, I am naked and I'm alone and I'm cold and I'm hungry, if I go from that to having shelter and companionship and food and warmth, going from 0 to 1 is such a huge life-changing shift that we believe that going from 1 to 2 must be as big. If I have 2 sets of clothing and 2 friends and 2 houses, if I have 2 of whatever it is, then it's going to be twice as good as having 1. And then that error propagates until we have 100 things. And then I keep on hoping that getting 1 more, I'll get that feeling again that I got from getting that first one. But then you're trying to buy the feeling and the stuff is just kind of an intermediary. And maybe if I spend enough money, I'll eventually buy that feeling and it'll stick. Then you have 100 pairs of shoes or a library overflowing with books and you don't know what to do with them all and you're never going to read them all, but you still don't feel like you're enough.
And you wonder why you're unhappy.
Well, I'll just buy another one, and this one, the last 1,000 weren't it, but this one is it. There are ways of being enough and having enough without needing to buy more. If you are dependent on your stuff to be okay, and even worse, depending on getting more stuff, not even the having of stuff. I need to get more money to be okay. Not however much money I have. I need to get more money or get more belongings or get more boats and cars and houses. If I need more to be okay, then I'm never going to be okay because there's always more to get. And if you think of even just numerically, if I go from my first to second thing, that's a pretty big increase. I've just doubled the stuff I have. But if you go from 100 things to 101, now you have 1% more stuff. And is it really making that much bigger of a difference? Not really. So if I can remember that having more things, having enough makes a big difference. If I have my needs met by the things I own, then that's a huge difference. If you don't have that, then you're in poverty or destitution, or you're starving, and that shift is really powerful. But more than that, doesn't really make you that much happier in my experience.
Enough is never enough. Because mind has you believing that you are not enough.
Thank you for watching our video.
If you like the video, please subscribe.
Please like,
comment below. Thank you so much.